Zach, it seemed like you was in a really good groove out there. What were you seeing out there that was allowing you to look so efficient today?
Yeah, I think it's really just a day at a time. It's day three. Compared to day one, I feel like not just me, but everybody's playing faster, being able to react more, not necessarily thinking so much. I think that's the hardest thing when you're installing offense is, you're always trying to think of, what coverage, what's my assignment, what's my split, my footwork, everything. And so we're just being able to play a little bit faster, and I think that's just making it more comfortable for everybody.
Zach, how do you feel like you're doing learning the offense?
Yeah, it's I feel like I'm doing well. It's definitely it's gonna be a challenge. I'm excited for it. But it's really just taking it a day at a time. There's frustrating things that happen in practice, maybe because you were slow on one read to the next or whatever it is. But you got to understand that it's going to be a process, and you just got to take it day by day and keep learning and just doing your best.
We were talking to Robert earlier, and he said he used the word relentless to describe your approach to trying to learn. Would you agree with that? Is that a good word?
I mean, that's nice. That's nice of him, of course. I really just have a strong passion for this game, and I don't want to let my teammates down. So I'm just going to make sure I can do everything in my control to make sure I'm prepared.
Zach, obviously learning the playbook is a big priority for you this spring. So if you could just kind of give us a rundown of maybe your top few things on your checklist for, in particular, this spring, what do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, well, really, Coach Salo always kind of uses a good analogy of, if you're watching TV and eating a bowl of cereal, learning the plays, the formations, alignments is kind of like eating that bowl of cereal. You're not really sitting there thinking about, eating, lifting the spoon up to your mouth and chewing and all that kind of stuff. It just naturally happens. So for me, it's working on understanding the formations, so it's super quick, understanding where the alignments the receiver should be. And then you start to pick up certain things against certain coverages and how guys run certain routes. And, it's like I said, it's going to be a process.
Zach, what do you like about this offense?
Yeah, what I like. I mean, I don't know if there's much I don't like. I think we got some amazing coaches that put us in some great situations, some very intelligent guys. In so many details. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I like about the offense is, one play complements another, and then another and another, and it keeps the defense on their toes, and they're always thinking something looks the same. All of a sudden, we throw something else at them. So I think it's just the ability to be confusing for a defense and be able to just do a lot of things.
Now that you've kind of worked in this offense a little bit, what similarities do you see to what you did in college? I guess how similar is it, and in what ways do you see those similarities, and maybe how different is it, and in what ways could it be different, do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's similarities in almost every aspect. I think the speed of the game is going to be faster. Processing needs to be faster. There's obviously some better, faster, smarter guys on defense as well. So it almost makes me feel like I'm a freshman in college, and it was like almost the same transition from high school to college. It's definitely obviously different, but it kind of reminds me of the same thing of just adjusting to the speed of what's going on, and then also the plays. There's a lot more that the offense requires of you.
It's been about a month or so since the draft. So what's life been like as the quarterback of the Jets? We saw, you got out to a hockey game with some of your offensive line buddies and seemed to have a good time there. So what other things have you done in New York since you've been drafted?
Yeah, I've been able to go and so we went to the hockey game one night. We got to go to one of the O lineman's house afterwards, hang out in Long Island. I don't always think of a beach when I think of New York, but it was cool to see that there was a nice beach out there, and we got to go and get some good food down in the city. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. Go check out some of the nice restaurants, and besides that, it's been us kind of just hanging out in the apartment rooms and really just grinding on offense. How quickly can we install, and you want to do your best to be prepared. So I think all of us are really just making sure we spend a majority of our time just making sure we're getting ready to play.
Going off
Zach,
of that, what have been the biggest differences between living out there versus living in Draper and Provo?
Yeah, it's not a ton different as far as just the size and the feel. There's not a lot of traffic in New Jersey. There's it's a calm place. Obviously there's a different look to this city. It's very green, trees everywhere, and Utah is definitely not like that. There's definitely some aggressive drivers here, that's for sure. Getting used to that, getting cut off about everywhere you go. But really I feel like I'm at home. I don't feel homesick. I don't feel like I'm, missing anything, or, I'm having a blast. And I think, the coaches and the players just make it easy to fit in and get going with everything.
Hey, Zach, this is Kim Jones from NFL Network. As we all kind of get to know you, this is kind of fun for me. I'll speak only for myself. I enjoy getting to know you young players in this league. I wonder how much pressure you put on yourself. You're in a really big role, and you can obviously have a great impact in that role very, very early on. Do you put pressure on yourself, and how so?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't think you need to for any reason. I mean, obviously, I definitely challenge myself to keep getting better every single day. I don't think there's pressure in any of that. I think the game of football brings pressure in general. So I think that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting. You come out every day and it's something new. I think where pressure comes is when you look to the future, is when you start, trying to set expectations and all that kind of thing. Really, there's no pressure when you just look at it a day at a time, and when you sit back and you just think, okay, what can I get better on from last practice to now? And how can I just keep improving? And I think, the rest takes care of itself, and you'll end up, getting to where you need to be.
I'm sorry that I wasn't there today, so I may ask you a question that's kind of dumb, but do you have an initial reaction for us in terms of throwing the ball to guys like Denzel Mims, any of the other weapons that you have right now? Does it feel good already? Do you have a lot of work to do? What is that like for you?
Yeah, well, no, it's good for sure. It's definitely an adjustment for me, just because these guys are so detailed in routes, and then the speed difference. I mean, I had some great receivers at BYU for sure, but I mean, this level, there's going to be a difference of how guys get out of their breaks, how they accelerate down the field. So I think, as time goes by, we keep working together. We start, working these different types of routes together. I think it's all going to take care of itself. I enjoy throwing to these guys. We got some studs.
Like, we haven't talked to you since the schedule came out. I was just curious what your reaction was when you saw that first game, because there's an obvious comparison that's going to be made between you and Sam. I haven't been here. What was your reaction when you saw that was the week one game?
Well, my first reaction is just typical NFL, right? I mean, they love it. They love to bring the fans, and I love it. I mean, what an exciting matchup it's going to be for us. I'm excited to be able to play them. Great team. I mean, it's crazy because when you're playing in the NFL, I mean, every single week is a great game. I mean, you can't say one of them's not. I mean, these are the highest level of guys all the way around. So I'm excited for the entire thing.
Zach, Robert Sala on draft night said that the organization was going to lift you, not the other way around. How do you feel the organization has gone about building around you and lifting you up so far?
Well, I think it's just the little details, every single day, sticking within the offense, the plan the coaches have for me, the ability to say, what, hey, we got man coverage right here. You got, so-and-so right here in the slot, let him make a play for you. Let him win that one-on-one. Your O-line's going to give you time. Don't feel like I need to be a superhero at all. Just work the offense how you're supposed to, and let the playmakers make plays.
Zach, if you continue to progress and learn the offense, well here, like Robert was raving about, how reasonable do you think it is to expect for you to start in week one? I know fans are expecting that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not my concern right now. Of course, everyone wants to ask that question. But right now, my goal is to just go in every single day. How can I get better from the day before? What things can I clean up? And how can we all just, keep pushing each other in the quarterback room? I think we all do a great job helping each other. And I think it's going to be exciting. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it out here for sure.
Zach, getting back to the
Take
opener.
a couple more for Zach.
Yeah, getting back to the opener, you said typical NFL with that matchup. But I'm wondering, it is you against Sam. Is that something that you relish? That particular matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's not for that reason. I mean, Sam's a great guy. I've talked to Sam before. He's a great guy, but it's not like I'm, so pumped because it's Sam. I'm excited because the Panthers are a great team, and it's a great challenge for us. It has nothing to do with him. He's a great player and he's going to handle his own. But it has nothing to do with the fact that he was here in New York and now he's there. I'm happy for him. What a great opportunity is for him to be able to put some life into his career and his opportunity. I'm sure he's excited about it, and I'm excited for him.
Hey, Zach, it's Kim again. I just wonder, my great colleagues in the media, I think, said Makai wasn't there today, but I have to believe you've met Makai Becton at this point. What are your thoughts when you see what the Jets have invested in terms of Becton and Vera Tucker on that all-important left side, especially a note with how much this offense may rely on play action?
Yeah, I mean they're special players. Makai's a big dude. He's bigger than you would expect. You see him on film and you're like, dang, that's a big guy until you really see him in person. I mean, he's a big guy, and I think the best part is just how well he moves. How smart he is and how bad he wants to be the best. I think that's one of the most special attributes you can look for in a player is how bad they want to be great. And so I'm excited to work with him and the whole line in general. I mean, everyone keeps talking about the left side. I mean, I'm excited for the whole line.
Zach, how important is it for you in this process, like off the field, just trying to get to know all of those guys, like going out and going to a restaurant and going to a hockey game, and is that part of kind of building a leadership kind of foundation for yourself?
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely think that's important. I've been trying to work on, getting to know guys in the locker room and remembering names. There's a lot of new faces and and then all of a sudden, once we got helmets on, we're out on the practice field, you don't recognize who's who. And so you're trying to just put it all together. And, as a leader, I think that's important, how close is that locker room? And so, I'm trying to do my best to be able to just come and meet everyone and do what I can to maybe take some guys out to dinner or whatever it is.